Hello.
Hi.
So, welcome to the second Simage Podcast, and this week we are talking about
Things that scare me in the world that I'm not educated about.
basically, I was watching this YouTube video.
This is mainly about me just being incompetent and not knowing what goes on outside my house.
Me being freaky and knowing too much about weird stuff. But this man escaped North Korea because he was part of these people who went to China to do studies. And when he was there, he found out, about North Korea as a dictatorship. So he was there for
know. See, I forget that they don't know that.
He was there for 3 months. He he didn't quit his studies. He said he was still doing them, but he wouldn't attend any of his lessons.
Oh my god, me.
And he spent 3 months researching all the history because he's got access in China. And he was finding all about North Korea, and he was so shocked. He was he didn't know.
Well, you would be, wouldn't you?
And he mustn't have had anything. Cause I think they're part of the elite. They don't want people to know that North Korea is a dictatorship. They don't want to scare their children. So then, the North Korean things were getting ready to take him back, and they were looking at his
Oh my god!
They were looking through his stuff,
See, that's
and they
so
found.
invasive. I don't understand how this is allowed.
Because I don't know either, but people just know not to fight back. If you've never seen anyone
so
fight
sad.
against authority, then you wouldn't do it yourself. But basically, they were looking
That's
through
a bit
his
of
stuff.
psychology
They found
for
out
you.
he was
Bit of conforming there.
The one thing I did in psychology. Well, one thing I understood.
Bit of context, by the way. We've been talking about Korea.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I really like it.
And how the world is just scary.
Wow.
Apparently more so than I
Blue
realised.
is really taken aback.
God, I'm taking it with. I'm just no words there.
So basically, it is mad. But this man, they were going through stuff. They realised he knows. So then he had to travel to a new part of China, escape them. Obviously, then they didn't come for him, and he did this interview for this That's how people know. He did this radio interview.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I know my family. Everyone in my family is dead now because he's escaped.
No.
That's the sacrifice that it is. He was like, and
Wait,
obviously
I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Because I was about to ask actually. Well, do his family know that he's escaped or
They would know he's escaped. What they would do is, I assume, and this is what people say.
How far did they
They
take
would
the bloodline?
bring in anyone. Well, not. They would kill his closest friends too. I'm pretty sure, and all his family. Everyone's gonna. If anyone listens to this and I'm saying it wrong, I don't want to be saying the wrong stuff.
You say it as if you've escaped Korea yourself.
Well,
North Korea.
Maybe I have. That's why identity is on the down low.
South Korea sounds nice though.
South Korea is
K-pop.
nice. K-pop. See, South Korea is literally
It's just
the complete opposite.
But I think it's so sad that they can't do anything about it. Because they know what's going on and they're happy to help people who escape, but they just can't.
It is and with North Korea too, obviously we don't understand the motives behind a dictatorship. It doesn't make sense.
And it's been
to
going on for
control
so long
many
to
people. I don't know what people gain from.
But they know around the world that no one agrees with it, and they know around the world that people are free and stuff.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're gaining, because what is the purpose of it? People say Hitler was a dictatorship. It wasn't to this extent, but his purpose was he wanted to eradicate, he was anti-Semitic.
We're not condoning what he did,
No.
but
he had his purpose was he didn't like.
I mean, he had
people who were not.
At least he was
pure-blooded
given a
German.
reason. I'm not saying what he did was right because
But
it was
North
actually
Korea,
horrible.
it's just so weird because it's I don't understand what he wants.
But it's so hush hush that no one knows.
Yeah, it's weird. The interesting thing is, unless you do research on North Korea, you wouldn't know.
No, because
I conditions there.
I didn't realise they weren't allowed to leave the country. Really,
Oh my God.
I didn't know they could. Because in my head, I know it sounds so stupid, but I was like, but why are people not moving?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that they didn't know what was going on outside of their country. I didn't realise that they couldn't even leave if they wanted to.
Because North Korea's been a dictatorship for so long, and now obviously people die.
Wow.
Now the
Nice biology
generations that are
lesson.
coming in are being born into dictatorships.
And they're not going to know anything
So
different, are they?
They think everywhere's a
Wait, I
dictatorship.
can't find my water. Where's the
But
water?
it's we could be living in a dictatorship
Wait, I
now,
can't
but
find
it's
my
called a
water.
democracy.
I'm sorry.
Oh, do you know about their
I found it.
elections?
No.
Oh my god, so basically...
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I'm how could is it possible in any way that they can be overrun?
Right, well, this is where it gets interesting, basically. Everyone, I don't believe they have voting ages, so literally, in fact, they might for little kids, but it wouldn't be like, oh, you can only vote when you're 21, like, I'm pretty sure you can vote when you're, like, 10. But obviously, on the ballot
the UK
paper...
would be...
On the ballot paper, there's just Kim Jong-un.
Well,
He's the only person you can elect for.
How does...
Because it's a dictatorship, so it makes people think, obviously they're not stupid, but they think like, oh, it's an election, and do you know here in the UK it's like, like 60% of people vote, like out of the entire population. In North Korea it's like 99.8% of people.
Yeah, but how are they like,
and
does it not cross their minds? It makes no sense that there's only one vote, like person.
I know. Well, they know, but what can they do? Like, I don't understand what their response would be. They don't know how to
I'm not
react.
saying they're stupid, because it's not their fault.
No,
but
they're not stupid.
You'd think that you'd be able to put 2 and 2 together.
I think they have, but it's negotiating a change. Like,
they can't do anything though, can they?
If you don't vote, or if you like, what would it be called if you vandalise like the paper? If you don't tick his name, you get killed. If you don't vote, and because it's like all done by name.
They're scaring
down,
people
like,
into doing what they want then, essentially.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And, like, people are just disposable to them.
But because we don't know, like, a lot about Korea, like, what I'm telling you now and what people outside of Korea know could be completely false.
Yeah, but given the circumstances...
I believe in, like, the remote areas, it's going to be a lot worse than what we could imagine.
Yeah, but when you were showing me that video of, like, basically people vlog their trips there.
Oh yeah, there are so many of them.
But
they're
like,
so interesting.
They're only allowed to certain parts, and like, they're not going to show them like the worst parts, are they? It's not on the top of this itinerary.
That's the thing. So they only show them they show them the wall in between.
The wall.
Not the wall. The like.
Oh, is that where Donald's got his idea from?
South Korea and North Korea.
That's what I mean. I'm scared that other leaders are getting the same ideas. That's what scares me.
I feel like America's is more for isolation purposes, though. Theirs is more like they don't want as many people, like they're still allowing free movement, but they don't want as many people staying in the country, because then it takes away jobs, employment.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent you can kind of understand,
but then
like, the logic long term, but...
It's on the pathway to a dictatorship, which is a scary thought.
No, that's the thing, it's like, you see things... Like, we all joke about the current political state of, the US and now the UK. But...
Brexit, no, yeah. Go on my Twitter, which you cannot know. But yeah.
But, like, no, that's the thing. I'm like, that's what worries me, because we can't control it. No one listens to us. Like,
yeah.
We're just sat in a library.
Yeah. It's mad what they tell the people in North Korea, though. Like, they will tell them... Like, they will make up things that people believe North Korea are doing good for the world. I don't know why, but, like, they'll say, like...
What are they doing for the world? They're scaring us. We can't even, like... They're scaring us into not being able to...
Petrified.
We're not even from North Korea. Like...
Shaking their boots. No,
because all that radioactive stuff scares me.
Oh, Chernobyl and shit.
Because, normal wars, they're kind of, like... Well, I'm not saying they're not good. Like, war's not good in general. But, like, radioactive, that is, like, once it's been done, it cannot be undone.
The traditional things that we would study, like World War I, World War II, it's all traditional fighting methods.
Yeah.
But now, knowledge of
that's
chemicals...
what I mean.
Like, do you remember that nerve chemical thing that happened in UK? It was, like, these two Russian people, a Russian dad and daughter. They were living in the UK and they had a nerve agent put on their door handle. God, I can't believe you don't know about this.
I'm actually so, like...
They touched the door handle, both of them, obviously, and it was meant to kill them off. It didn't, because, like, obviously they collapsed, they were caught quickly, and then they've managed to, like... I don't know how they've done it, but they've managed to make the chemicals have little effect on their body.
This is what annoys me,
it's meant to
because
thingy them.
I mean, I don't know how, like, you know all this, to be honest, but I mean, of course, like, you did history as a subject, and, like, I dropped it first chance I got, but, like, you've been doing it for years more than me, and I don't know, I sort of guess you read around it and stuff.
I like looking into
like
current affairs
people
more.
Like, as scared as I am of, like, the current political state and stuff, and, like, where places are going and things.
Yeah.
no one has taught me. Like, people are like, you need to be switched on, but I have never been given the opportunity to learn about it. Or, like, if you talk to anyone, it's always going to be a biased point of view. So I'm like, this is what I mean. I don't, like, I know what I believe, but I don't, in political terms, it's kind of hard for me to put it into, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can acknowledge what I think is wrong or right. You can tell me something political and I can be like yes or no, but I wouldn't.
But it doesn't mean that it's actually.
But I wouldn't know what I'm agreeing to.
I study history, so obviously I should have known this before I entered the subject, but I didn't know how. Well, I did know, but I wasn't aware of like the full political spectrum. So I didn't know if I went into an election, I would vote for a party that I won't vote for now. So like I would vote for thing beforehand. I don't want to share my political views. No, but now I wouldn't vote for them because I'm now more aware of what I would vote for.
So, you see, this is the thing though. There's
I'm not a Tory.
This is the thing that there's so many like different categories and stuff, but no one's taught me what any of them mean. Like, all I know is my nan or like my mum or whatever, or like my granddad being like, you know what I mean? Like, they just sort of say what they want about a thing, and then they're like, oh, stay away from that. But I don't know what it means. I don't know what
I think this is not what went wrong with Brexit, but it's because people are given information and they take it as it is, which is obviously what can you do. So with Brexit, they put on buses, you know, £5 million will be given to the NHS if we leave the European Union, and obviously people are thinking, that's
well, you believe that is,
so people
here we go, right, are you ready for
this? Brexit. But that's not the reality of it.
Even though this is counted as media, we learned it in English. Are you ready for this? That's cultivation theory. Because they're seeing it everywhere. Like, if you see something often enough, it's going to be imprinted. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to be.
It is a form of indoctrination. We are being indoctrinated.
Everything that goes on in the media, though.
Yeah.
Because
everything. It's even down to like
you like
body
to think
manipulation,
you have
like everything.
Control over your own opinions and stuff, but really you don't, do you?
Yeah, but then
you're either one or the other.
Like, people say like, oh, you can always trust the BBC, but it's like, what if you can't? Like, we're told to trust things that the BBC put out, and like, don't trust Wiki, but trust like a trusted website. Like,
that's the thing. Everyone, but I'm like, I kind of prefer Wiki. I think because it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
And it's like anyone has access to it.
Current,
it's not like a set of people who have been hired specifically.
Yeah. Because I don't think any article that
everything
you
read is going to be biased.
Nothing can be balanced, because how can it be? It's written by a person, unless it's written by a robot.
So that's why it's like, because in psychology, with things, you have to have multiple people check over it. Like, you can't just, it's not 100% reliable, regardless of anything.
Even if, like, do you know when we were doing like boredom effect, order effect,
why
like
there's
no way you can eliminate everything?
I feel like I'm being really loud.
Oh well. You know, we're having a normal conversation. We need to...
The thing is though, before we even started doing this, we were having this conversation.
Yeah, we were. Right, basically.
To be fair, I kind of needed it because I'm apparently very uneducated, so...
But it's like... It's not, because what if I didn't know this? We would both be here, like, not knowing about North
blissfully
Korea.
unaware.
Like, it is bad. And I think it is bad that...
Right.
Please ignore.
We don't know what's...
this is a...
Public space.
Public space. We're not a dictatorship. We don't dictate who goes in and out of here.
Oh, we could be at some point.
Like, it's every podcast just going to be ruined by people either coming in and looking at books and they're not even from the college, or external noises.
Or the librarian telling people to shut up.
Yeah,
so.
If she comes over, oh my god, I'd love to get that on recording.
Yeah, that's why we had to... We were going to record, like, previously, but... you know, complications.
Issues. People, the error was clear. We set out our space, and then people came in.
Don't you just hate that?
In.
You just hate that. Because that was like us in high school with our table. Remember, like, every year we used to like try and secure that place until we eventually, found somewhere. The elite. That probably wasn't the best choice of word, given everything that we've just,
God. So what else scares you about the world?
Oh, I mean, the fact that I don't understand half as much of it as... No, but that's the thing, though. There's so much that scares me in the world, and there's nothing I can do about it. I think that's what scares me, the fact that I mean, we all get scared when we're not in control. I know it sounds stupid, and unless you think about it, you don't realise, like, unless you're in control, you are panicked and, like... But, like, the more you think about it, we literally... Like, no one's going to listen to you right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm listening, because, like... But like, you're not gonna say something and the whole world's going to change because of it.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't do anything.
The issue is no one really has that power.
No.
But it's like, I always think, like, tomorrow we could be in a world war. Like, it doesn't seem like it now. Like,
we're not told about anything,
now,
like...
But we could be in a world war tomorrow just because dictators fall out overnight. Like, I remember one time I woke up in the morning, went on Twitter, obviously, gotta get my little addiction in, and it was, like, about how they were doing it for the right reasons, arguably. I can't really say too much, but it was, like, America, France and Britain had, like, bombed part of Syria because they were attacking their people. And it was like...
Why were we attacking Syria?
Because they were throwing acid at their people or something. It might not be Syria. I think it was
Oh, so we're like...
Syria.
So we're like being like, calm down.
So we then were like... That
we
was
don't
like
agree
a
with
prompt, and it was like, if you continue, you've got 3 world powers who will go
you know what?
against
I vaguely remember this. Like,
yes,
wasn't there like 3 or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I vaguely...
And it was
I just
like,
didn't know what any of
it was really
it was.
weird, because it was like,
I tend to avoid the news, because there's nothing happy on it.
America deployed, like... I don't know the exact figures, but America deployed like 12 bombs, let's say. France deployed 6, we deployed 4, and it's like how much power the country has. So obviously America have more military expenditure, more people they can use in the military, so it's like
it's
proportionate to that type thing. And it was like, to be fair, I personally think it was a good tactic. Obviously, don't bomb people, but you shouldn't be throwing acid at your own people either.
But that concerns me to the extent of, what if places that don't agree with us start doing stuff like that to us?
Exactly.
Because we're like kind of saying it's okay to do that. At the same time, like,
Yeah.
of course, I don't want people to have acid thrown at them, and I think, you know, things do need to be done
Things were
to like
out of
stop
hand
that.
in the country at
But
the time.
then I'm like, that's just essentially saying that anyone's free to do that.
Yeah, and it's like, we're not the only 3 world powers. Like, you've got Russia, you have got, like, I know people would say you haven't because people don't know, but potentially North Korea.
No one knows what goes on there.
Oh my god, imagine some of the things, I don't even know what's possible. They're like, people say like nuclear stuff.
But
I don't have a clue what that means.
This is like drifting a bit. And I
Right.
mean, brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
But like, people say the same about, don't take a drink of water because you probably will spit it everywhere. Right, I'm just going to say one word. And before you say anything, let me reason.
Right.
Aliens. Right.
Right.
But, I mean, I think, to an extent, like, we cannot be the only like living things in the entire universe. And like, there's loads of different galaxies and stuff. So I'm not discounting it. But it's like the way that people like come out saying like, oh, I've had alien experiences, which sometimes I think, well, you know, calm down. But then people make the point of like, we don't know what technology is like available that we're just not shown.
See, that I agree with. The prospect of aliens, to me, I don't get when people say, oh, there is more to life than us, so is this. I don't understand. I can imagine it being a thing,
they won't
but
be like
I don't
people,
understand
like,
it happening.
Even if they're like little tiny like little slug type things, like there's got to be life somewhere else.
How?
Are you joking?
I don't
Yeah,
get
but
it.
think about it.
We know the solar system.
We haven't adapted to like be able to like live on Mars, for example.
Yeah, that's true.
What's to say that something on Mars hasn't adapted to live on Earth?
But what?
Anything. It could be anything.
So this computer here could be an alien.
No, wait, hang
I
how
don't
the
get
hell
it.
Right, no, right. Okay.
I'm deluded.
Oh my
in this, so
god,
I have
right.
not got a
Doesn't
clue.
it, right, think about it. There are so like the universe is infinity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we can't go, like space doesn't end. We can't go
Yeah.
everywhere in space.
That's freaky.
We're not gonna know if there's
Right.
something else, and they're not gonna know. You know what I mean? You can't you can't just be like, no, we are the only things alive.
But why can you say, oh, we're definitely not the only things alive? Like, it's a two-way street.
Right, I'm not good at maths, but think about it, probability-wise.
Right, I'm
You've got all that
statistics on aliens.
Yeah, but think about it, like you've got everything, like the entire infinite, never-ending, like, probability-wise.
But, like...
It makes sense for there to be something else, even if it's not a person, or even if it's not, like, a green, big-eyed thing.
Do you think it would be
I think there's some sort of organism.
Cooperation? Do you think it would be like aliens know they exist, or would it be just like things?
Yeah, but to them, we don't know how intelligent they could be. I mean, we're aliens to them, you know what I mean?
Most compelling evidence of aliens. God.
Have you seen all the Area 51 stuff? Got quite relevant, but like all the Area 51 stuff. There was this man saying he saw like technology that like we haven't even like made yet, but obviously it's all like, kept hush hush.
Did they go in though?
No, but this was years ago. This is like years and years
shit.
ago, not recently, but
Some say it's obvious we're not alone. None of this makes sense to me.
yeah, but I don't understand how you can say that it's not possible.
What is right? There's a picture here. I will insert it, and it is of a UFO painting, the Madonna with Saint Giovannino. What? That is not to me proof that aliens.
No,
exist.
I don't think that's solid proof. But
Why
I
is
think
this
the
number one on the article?
I think the point being made is that like there's a lot of things that are unexplained in the world that we will never know the answer to.
I believe that's true. A sighting even crops up in the Bible in the book of Ezekiel. Where? Does anyone want to give me this quote? Because
Well, I mean, I've not read the Bible and seen that image. I didn't think the Bible had images, but
no, it doesn't. I have read the book of Ezekiel. I don't remember alien connotations.
yeah, but right.
I'm religious. I don't read the Bible for fun.
Point being made is that like there's a lot that you will like. I'm not being funny. If someone said like aliens exist, you couldn't have any solid proof that goes against them.
But
You
what
can't-
is the proof that they do? I've not seen any proof that there is.
Yeah, but there's no proof against them either. So it's kind of like you're at a standstill.
So it's just negligible.
Yeah, you could argue both sides because of course like there's so much. I mean,
Yeah.
in these paintings, I think what the point they're trying to say about that is that like
Just don't rule it out.
realistically, in Egyptian time, think about it this way. There's that whole thing about aliens helping make the pyramids. Maybe keep it logged on. That might
What?
like keep it logged on because let's be honest, we're gonna argue
Oh
with the
yeah,
computer
yeah.
again.
Don't worry, I wasn't. That's what I logged it on and I could see and I was like, just in case
No,
we need
because
to
some
do some
people
research.
just turn it off straight away, and I'm like, why? Anyway,
No,
right.
don't turn it off until you're gonna leave. I get
Yes, no.
that.
But,
Why would you do that?
But like, obviously, people believe that like aliens helped make the pyramids. And like, I'm not directly saying that that is what I think is what happened. Like, I'm not saying yes, aliens definitely made the pyramids, but I don't like. I watched. Long story short, I didn't have Wi-Fi, and then I ended up watching a documentary on the pyramids,
Nice.
and they were trying to like give all these scientific reasons for how it was built because obviously like years and years
Yeah.
ago, like even now, they've tried to make them more recently, and they didn't have the technology to build the pyramids that they built were like crumbling, I think.
That's what. Right.
But-
okay.
but,
This
like-
is a stupid question, so I'm just gonna.
You didn't know what the
What's our pyramids made out of?
oh, it's like all like sandstone, not sandstone, limestone, I think it was that they'd like dug up.
I'm sure.
There was like a limestone like covering, but like that's gone now. But
Sorry,
they were
researched
like,
it for me.
but like realistically, Egyptian times, they don't like what technology did they have that could have made that? And then there's loads of like unexplained hieroglyphics of what people depict it. How do you say it? Depict it.
Depict.
Depict.
Wait, what's the word you want to say?
No, I think that's it.
Depict. Like, work out what it means.
Yeah. See, this is just me being once again the worst English language student to exist.
She says that. She's really backing that. There's
I'm
a lot of
I'm
proof
better
that
with
she's not.
written work, just not very audible. But like
I'm sure.
people like
audible.
think that there's like aliens on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was in the painting, because obviously, like, when the Virgin Mary was a thing, like, they're not gonna have it, like, you know what I mean? No one has technology to have a flying spaceship in the background. So I think people are like, right, they say every lie has a bit of truth in, which I kind of believe to an extent, because without
I agree.
inspiration, you're not gonna be able, like, no one in their right mind has just gone, I think a ghost is real. Like,
Yeah.
it has to have stemmed from somewhere.
My mum always says there's no smoke without fire,
Yeah,
which is
like,
for like criminals, but it's applicable to
no,
this.
but you know what I mean. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Like, no. I mean,
I'm
I'm not
with you on
judging
that.
anyone's creativity, but you have to have been inspired, whether you realise it or not.
Yeah, like even if it's just like people say like if you get inspired from a dream, it's a thought. What's that stem from? Psychology.
But no, like, do you know what I mean though?
No, I agree with you on that. I do. I think you're right.
But then, like, I don't know. I feel like things like aliens like really discounted because everyone's like, oh, it's stupid to believe in them. But then it's like, is it stupid to not believe in them?
Yeah. I think it is, but like I don't really, because like I'm one of those
You really
people,
don't understand it.
I feel like you're more open. I'm very much so a person of quantity.
I
like,
think this
want
says
to
a lot
see
about
it.
us, the fact that you just educated me on North Korea and I've just educated you on aliens. That says enough.
Yeah.
You're like,
what if the North Korean population is alien?
oh my
It
god.
could be, we wouldn't know. How are we going to know?
No, but that's the thing though. It's like there is a lot of like hidden technology, and that's why I think that's why everyone stopped. Well, obviously that's why everyone stormed. I say stormed Area 51 because people believe that they are hiding stuff from us. And I'm not saying it's specifically Area 51, but there is a lot that we do not know because, of course, the government and stuff can control what we say.
That's true, because that's what I think, like, people say, oh yeah, we're in a democracy, and I know we are compared to North Korea.
You said that really aggressively. I know we are.
I know we are. Like, I'm not, because I don't want to sound like, obviously we are in a democracy, but like, when we say media is so filtered, like, everything, like, even if, like, it's like the same as what we can do on Instagram comments. If you don't want people to comment a certain word, you can just block it out.
If we have the power to delete something, and of course, like,
government is not really a limitation as far as technology goes.
and I'm not being funny. If the government like said to Apple, like, get rid of this now, like, Apple aren't going to argue, are they?
Yeah, because have you heard, like, people say, like, oh, government got in touch. Or, like, I know it's usually the meme, but, like, I feel like the
FBI agents meme.
Like, do you know, I'm not a flat earther, but do you know the flat earth guy, he was made out to look on, like, This Morning and stuff, he did interviews, and he was made to look, like, a bit...
Yeah, but they do that to whoever they want, because they do it to, like, feminists and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, that's a really misunderstood term.
Yeah. My mum, she doesn't get it at all. I'm like, Lynn, listen to me, listen to your daughter speaking. But no,
because they just put the stories they want out there. They don't say the stories about
and they can
people
manipulate
actually
it
doing...
to make it look as though...
Because that's just basic, like, language choices.
Yeah. Well...
And, like, of course, influential power. And
it is, like, this conformity thing, because it's like, if you see so many people, like, I don't know.
No one challenges authority either.
You didn't know much about North Korea, and you still knew it was bad.
No, I knew it was bad, but I just didn't know to the extent.
That? Because people say it's bad and you believe it.
And I've seen it online. Yeah, so, long story short, like, I can't even...
That's basically just a...
But, like, no one's going to go against... Like, if a policeman told you to do something, or, like, said, don't go there, you're not going to go there, are you? You're not going to challenge the authority. It's just in your mind, like, that's just normal for you to do. You just
How have they indoctrinated us like this? This is a revelation.
Honestly, I thought we were quite free walking into this library, but leaving it, you know, I'm a changed woman.
Do you know, this library is a dictatorship in itself. They don't let us eat in here. That is a
Even though I
dictatorship.
bought the food from here. This is going to be a common theme in every podcast.
Say we were snowed in, would they still be like, no eating in the library?
They'd make us stand
I think they would.
You know, I don't know if you've watched it. I think you did. What film was it? That one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
They're in the library. They're all like trapped in the library.
Yeah, it's like, and the dad has to come and
save
them.
No, but then again, they were like trying to keep the dog out, weren't they?
Oh my god! Wait,
I can't remember the film.
I can't spell his name.
End of Tomorrow or something like that, is it? Day After Tomorrow, is it?
Day After Tomorrow. Probably
End of Tomorrow.
Well, just the Day After Tomorrow. Yeah. But I like all this, like, dystopian type.
I love dystopian,
outlook.
yeah.
Like, it's my favourite
It's really
genre.
interesting.
Yeah, people... Have you ever read The Handmaid's Tale or seen it?
I mean, we did a bit of it in English, and I do want to watch this. But everyone kicked off because Kylie Jenner had a Handmaid's Tale birthday, didn't she? Have you not seen this?
I'm not in touch with...
Google it now. They all had, like, the red... They all had the red, like, capes on and everything. And apparently they were, like... You know, like, how the main character was, like, off Fred, as in, like... property of Fred. They all put, like, off in front of their names and stuff.
Oh no.
Like, that's not good, is it?
That.
And everyone, like, kicked off, like, well, that's just kind of going against the whole point of the show.
How long ago was it?
And apparently they, like, called the capes iconic.
Oh god. Because I had to, well, I didn't have to, but for my summer reading, we were told to read books, and everyone was like, oh, I wouldn't want to read a dystopian novel. I was like,
They're my
so I picked that one.
Because it's like...
And it's really good.
I think it's because it's believable to a point. It's like, what's that? Black Mirror. Black Mirror is the perfect example, because
I need to watch that.
Most of the episodes, it's believable to a point. It's like, it could happen in the future, because it's not, like, out of touch enough. It's placed in our world, and it's not out of touch enough to not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love the concept of Black Mirror, but I just haven't watched it. But
Some of the episodes, granted, are a bit like probably not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, it's kind of like, wow. Or like, even if it's not like directly true, aspects of it could happen.
That's so scary.
Which is the scary part.
I think the prospect of future is really like daunting to most people though, because it's like no one knows what the future holds.
One of the like scarier episodes I've seen was like the one where they inserted a chip into the little girl.
Ooh.
And like her mum controlled everything she saw.
Gosh.
So like this girl, she went to like school, for example, and this little boy like cut his knee or something. I can't remember, it was a while ago since I watched it, but like he cut his knee open.
Yeah.
But because the mum had like messed with the like settings and stuff, the blood was like blurred, so she couldn't see it. It was just like a digital blur.
Yeah.
And she switched it off at a certain point, but then when she started getting suspicious of her daughter, she turned it back on and it ended up in violence. But
Oh my god. But that is crazy.
but that is like the whole idea of people cannot be controlled.
But it's another aspect of like, what is the purpose? Like, I don't understand that. I know that was just like a made up
to an extent,
story,
it's kind of like,
and I think it's believable. I think it could happen.
you want to look after your
What
kids
is
and
the
stuff, and you don't want to
mother's-
expose them to like things they shouldn't be at a young age. But at the same time, if they're not exposed to these things, it's like you see it yourselves. Like obviously, like there's people our age that haven't had the experiences that we've had, and a lot
Yeah.
of people are more sheltered than we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Basically, we live in a shithole. No, we live in.
but I mean, like,
the worst city.
you know what I mean? Like, we'll go on the train
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
places, but like people our age still wouldn't be allowed to do that. Like, they would have
Yeah,
never
that's so
had that
true.
experience,
That's so
or like
true.
they wouldn't have met the people that we have, or like been
Yeah.
exposed to the type of like house parties and stuff. A lot of people have never been in that environment, so like they wouldn't be aware of things.
Yeah.
Some people are more streetwise than others. I think that's kind of the.
Because now we were talking earlier about drinking laws and drinking age laws.
God,
so
this
in
makes us
America,
sound like
it's
very,
21,
like,
but there's
we are
why
opinionated
do people in
cheese.
America not? Why is there not just like 100,000 people in America who say there's no point why it can't be 18 because it is in Britain? Like, what is? I know the obvious reason why they're doing it is to like protect people, but a rule is a rule. Like, it should be the same in all countries.
I find it interesting how
It's like should be a uniform thing.
like.
It's really weird.
I mean, if you think about it, people can get married younger in America than they can here.
Yeah.
But then, like, we can drink here first, and like we can vote
It'd
here
be
first. and
interesting
stuff,
to
can't we?
watch that entire
It's
debate.
interesting to see that like you are classed as an adult in one place, but not in another place.
Yeah, like in like less economically developed countries, obviously you can get married or
Like,
you're forced into
You'll be
marriage.
like 14 with like a full-on family, and I'm like, at that age, we're not even allowed
Do
to
you
like,
know- yeah.
I don't know, walk to the shops without someone. You know what I mean? Like,
For my English course, like I'm reading this book, The Colour Purple, and it's about this girl who's like, she was raped. It's really, really bad, but she's like, basically like, her body was like really ruined because of all this like rape that was happening to her. She was unable to have more kids at the age of like 20 because she'd had so many before that.
Yeah.
It's like fuck.
it is
That's
weird,
so bad.
but then it's but I just don't. I find it interesting how everywhere's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I think that
we could be. I don't even know where to say that.
I think we are. I think it's safe to say we are lucky where we are, and I acknowledge that.
Yeah, we're really lucky.
But at the same time, I know that I've been sheltered to an extent,
We have.
and you know what I mean. Like everyone's been sheltered to some.
Like, because the way to look at it is, in comparison to the world, we're probably living in one of the most ideal locations. Like,
Oh, I think so.
democratic. I know employment isn't great, but compared to other countries, employment, liberties, like,
I think it's.
the fact that we can protest.
But at the same time, I feel like it's easy. I'm not saying it's easier to get support but I think we're slowly becoming more aware of like issues that, like mental health, for example.
Yeah.
We know what that is now. Back then, it was kind of
know.
like one like instead. I mean, we know there's different things now. There's different like types of. But like back then, it'd be like, oh, a bit weird. Get out of my way. We're just gonna put you here and not interact, and you're just not gonna like bother our ideal situation. You know what I mean? Like,
Now, it sounds like I'm making this up because everything seems to relate back to school, but I'm actually doing that, like, a title similar for my individual project a
I haven't even started mine yet because
I
apparently that's just not important to my
I had to, like, think of my title so I could write my personal statement, which was, like, stressful. It was in today, she didn't mark it, surprise, surprise. And I'm doing, like, representation of mental health in literature, which is, like,
I was going to look at that
thing.
in language, but I think I'm looking at a more political take in language now.
Yeah. But it's, like,
then again,
really bad.
after everything I've said, is that the best thing for me to be doing?
Oh my god, do North Korea. Oh my god. You know, I don't think they've got much music in North Korea. At all.
No, isn't it, like, they have to, like, pick haircuts out of a magazine or something?
They what?
Like, they're only allowed, like, when they go to, like, a hair salon, they don't get to, like, say, oh, I want this haircut. Like, they have to look through, like, pages of a magazine and pick one of the pre-made...
You know, you're right, but that stems from something from Hitler, because you know how Hitler had his, like, moustache?
Blue eyes, oh.
Oh, that's the Iron Race. You're right with that too.
Blue eyes,
that was,
blonde hair, that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But no one was allowed to have a moustache like Hitler's because he wanted that to be the, like, Hitler symbol to show power.
Right,
it's like, obviously...
This sounds so stupid, right, but I'm not trying to, like, be mean. If you're going to pick anything to represent your name...
Oh, I know.
Why would you pick that?
I know. Because, like, why would you pick... You know the swastika? It wasn't actually originally made by Hitler. I've got to read it. It's from, like...
Wasn't he inspired by someone else?
It was adopted from, like, this...
He got, like, upset because he didn't get into art college.
Oh my god, yeah. He was rejected from an art college in Austria, where he was born. Then he moved to Germany.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not even German.
I know, and he thought he was on this, like, well, people say, historians argue he was on this special path.
Go back over the slide. Weren't you just talking about that a minute ago?
Oh, it's dropped. Panic over. No, I'm joking. No, do you know they did, like, because they were meant to introduce that law loads of times, and they had to do, like, news things on it every time.
I mean, the people have their say, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, it just wasn't working, the plans. I'll tell you about it after. I feel like this is too explicit for
the public
library. But, some things I wanted to introduce were mad. Oh my god, did you hear about the racism at the football game?
Oh, yeah, apparently, didn't they, like, stop or something? Like...
They stopped, like...
I think it is bad. Like, racism isn't really... I don't understand why it's still a thing.
I know, because it's like, you know, Bulgaria, like... I was asking my dad why it's happening.
We like Bulgaria.
Yeah, we like. We're going to go on holiday there.
Well, we wanted to. It's too pricey.
New episode coming soon. Oh gosh.
Spoiler alert, we can't book holidays.
Oh my gosh, we really can't. But, like, yeah, it was so bad. Like, I don't get why...
Wait, it was our friend.
Oh my god, this entire time. Sorry, there's someone opposite us in the... Oh my god. There was someone opposite us in the library.
But we didn't realise.
Mad.
Okay, anyways.
Right, back onto it. Wait, I'll insert glitch here.
Oh, that malfunction. That's our thing now, isn't it?
Back on topic. What were we talking about?
Back again, I see.
God.
I need to stop putting inside jokes in because people just don't get it. Well, I mean, to be fair, where can we even pick up after everything we've said?
No, I don't. Well...
What other places in the world scare you?
What? Well, that reminds me. I'm not changing the subject, but we were trying to go on holiday. Well, we were looking at locations. I was saying how I'd love to go to Dubai, and you were like, I would never go there.
Mate, it just scares me. It does, genuinely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know everything
I've heard.
I think it's just two.
Because we've got
parallel
wrong
move.
On this.
And
yeah, I know. Don't mind me.
We're going to get kicked out.
We're going to get kicked out because the buses are coming soon.
We've got until £20. But no, I mean... I'm not saying I know everything about Dubai. I'm just going off of things that I've read, seen on the TV, you know what I mean? And, like, obviously in the news, like, wasn't, like, a British couple, like, held there or something? Like, I think it's just... I don't like the idea of... I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're more... I'm not saying that I'd go there and, like, rob something. But, like... Yeah. If... Like, it's just way more severe, isn't it? And I feel like going in knowing... that you're being watched closely makes you subconsciously act out. And I feel
No,
like I
I
wouldn't
think
have
you're
control
true.
to an extent.
But then, like, to me, the idea of Dubai is, like, so much different to yours. Like, I think Burj Khalifa, I think, like, sea, hot weather, like, I fucking would love to go
No,
there.
I'm sure it's lovely, like, if you go to the right place. But
But then I
at the same time,
acknowledge
it's
your
just...
argument too. It's like, that's weird. But what place scares you the most in the world?
Isn't it funny, though, how, like, I'm not gonna lie, we're practically twins. We've
Yeah.
literally had, like, the same upbringing. We've got, you know what I mean, like, but we have such different views on so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
Yeah. Like, literally, we've not had much different in our upbringing.
No, even now, we're in very similar positions.
Yeah. Like, we always say about how our parents are so alike.
It's actually wild.
Which has just contributed to the mess, which is our
Us,
childhood,
but-
and then us, and then putting us together as well.
Oh, yeah. But, like, no, that's the thing, though. It is weird that, like, you're, like, thinking of it at this... Because I've had family that have been there. Like, I think, like, my nana, like, my dad's mum, I think they might have been there at some point. And, like, obviously, like, they're fine and things. But I think I'd just rather go somewhere that I wouldn't be on edge constantly. Because I'm going in with
Yeah.
that. I'm not saying it's right what I'm saying. Or I'm not saying that I'm, like, you know...
Yeah.
But... Like,
No.
you know yourself, once your mind's made, like,
Because,
it's gonna, like, tarnish
yeah.
how you see it.
Like, this is weird, because, like, you've gone to America. I assume you really like it. You'd
Yeah,
want to go there
I
again.
want to go again, yeah.
Oh, what's happening to my voice? I would never, like, if someone said pick a holiday location, you can go anywhere, I don't think America would be in my top 50 places to go.
Really?
Like,
50?
It's not attractive
I don't even know
to
50
me.
places in the world.
I don't even think I do. I would go there, obviously, and I would feel
Yeah.
safe there, but I'm just not, I just don't have the urge to go to
But
America, and that's a lot
I
of people's,
find it
like,
interesting
dream.
how I'm kind of contradicting myself, because I've said, like, because of everything I've read, I'm too scared to go to Dubai,
Yeah.
despite everything that is going on right now in America. And, like, everything we see online about America.
God, 'cause
but because
we-
I've had good experiences there, it's kind of, like, in my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a...
Like Disneyland and stuff.
I do love Disney. Like,
Yeah. No, I think I would love Disney too.
But, like,
No, yeah.
it's just really subjective. But I mean, of
America's
course,
massive though.
some parts of America I wouldn't go to.
Yeah.
But the places I have been, I have loved, and there are places I still want to go to.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Canada too. I want to go there.
I like the idea of Canada, which is weird because it's literally the exact same as fucking America. So why do I think of it so differently?
No, it is quite. I mean, stereotype-wise, it's very different.
When I think Canada, I like their like, what's it
I had a Canadian pen
President.
pal.
Oh, I had one from Indonesia.
maybe.
Indonesia. Quite different.
When I
What's
say
your
we have
pen pal
similar
like?
upbringings,
Yeah. What was your pen pal like?
his name was Yoshio.
Oh.
Oh my!
Right, okay.
What was yours called?
We didn't actually have, we had a pen school, but we didn't have individual pen
We had
pals.
the link school. We were linked to Lesotho. And Lesotho people used to come over, but our teacher had to go on this thing in Canada, so we wrote letters for the children there, and then she brought back letters. She brought back letters from Canada back to us, and we had to. But because
Oh
there
my
was like
gosh.
twice as many of us as there were them, we had to share with the person next to us. So like she told them which names to write for.
Yeah.
So I had to share with someone.
For Yohishi.
Yoshio.
Yoshio, sorry.
I don't know if I'm saying it right,
Aw.
but me and someone else had to share him, so that's great.
What happened with us is this, I don't think this is weird, like obviously it was done with the right intentions, but looking back, basically, as you said, they're like the the primary school teacher from...
Are you okay?
No, Indonesia came to our school, and my head teacher went to the Indonesian school.
Oh, we had like a group of like kids.
We didn't. This is what happened there. Basically,
I
they
wasn't
took
allowed.
pictures
I
of
was-
us doing like sports, like in our lessons at lunch. They would take pictures like going home, coming in school assemblies, they'd take
Oh
pictures
my
of
god,
that.
that's wild.
And then they'd get pictures from the Indonesian
we
school, and
did
they'd be
something
like,
similar.
compare these.
I think we did something like that, but
And we spent
Not
an
as-
afternoon just looking at photos, like comparing.
I don't even... I'll be honest, we had this link, but we weren't really bothered about it. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't really act on
think
it.
I'm pretty sure my head teacher was meant to go back to Indonesia to go again and like be like, oh, what are you up to now? And he didn't get invited back.
Oh
or,
no.
like, something, to be fair, it might have been because we switched our teachers and then they just gave up on us, but that's essentially what happened with that one.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
We literally didn't really do a lot about it. Okay, that was...
Okay. Right. No, yeah.
Oh, all the buses are there.
Oh my gosh. People get that early, you know?
Like we didn't get to like the train station.
Oh gosh. Oh, how are we going to go abroad if we can't even go?
How are we going to get to the Jonas Brothers concert?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Catch us there. I don't know.
We've got tickets now, we have to go.
No, yeah. Well, we're going, but I just don't know.
I'm not
how.
going to pass my driving licence by then.
No, I wouldn't put the pressure on you to drive
I
there
know,
either.
I can't even drive around like the industrial estate. I'm not going to be able to drive to this big city.
God, I honestly have not got a clue.
We'll cross that bridge
We'll
when we
either
get
get
to
a
it.
train
We've got until February.
or, worst comes to worst, hi Nell.
Oh no.
It could, no, because the thing is with trains, it's fine saying, oh yeah, we can get a train, but the train times, I've looked,
It's difficult because of college.
and I've got a lesson at 4:20.
So have I think.
4:20.
Wait, what day is it? A Tuesday?
You don't, Thursday, you don't
Oh,
have one.
I'm 3:15.
Yeah, but I don't want to miss because I've got history and it's like getting up to coursework time, so like I really need
Before
to be
exams.
because it's before exams. Too close. I'm getting scared. I don't want to be told off by my history teacher.
No, I get that.
Like obviously there's no need for me to miss lessons, so I'm just not going to.
It was different for years and years because I finished at like lunch and I just came home and got ready.
Yeah, I finished 3:15.
Although in high school I did have to miss like half a day because of Little Mix.
Dedication, kids.
Literally.
Kiddies.
It's because my cousin was like, you know, be on the ball. I don't want to be late, but I wasn't going to get ready. If school doesn't finish until 3, I couldn't get picked up at 3 and be ready. Like
That's true.
Of course I had to go home early.
Sorry, I just hiccuped. Right. What? We're going to have to talk about something else because we can't wrap things up.
I know, this is... Oh my god, that sounded so... Like, you sounded annoyed saying that.
What do you mean?
Do you not enjoy
Sorry.
talking?
No, of course I do, but
I
they're
know.
going to tell us to get out in a second. Right, well, we're staying. Right. Yeah, so I was going to say, what country, apart from, like, Dubai and North Korea, what country scares you the most?
Well, I mean, apparently I don't know things about Russia. That's stereotypically quite...
You need a visa to get in there. You have to
Russia's
in
quite... Because,
advance to
I
get
mean,
visas.
you hear a lot about, like, especially
Eric.
against sort of minorities.
Yeah.
It's kind of not ideal for them, is it?
Actually, do you know that ban on something that I was talking about earlier?
Yeah.
People are like, oh, we're turning into Russia because they're the second country that want to implement it. We're the two countries in the world. I don't even think they've got it in North Korea. No,
I
I'm
love
joking.
the British public
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, gosh.
This is the argument we had last podcast.
Yeah.
The British public. Just...
Oh, gosh. Yeah, the British public.
But no, like,
I've never
Russia's
been
stereotype-
fonder.
But that's the thing that I read about these places and it
Yeah.
does...
Because I get where you're coming from with Russia. I feel like a lot of people would be like... I think I would be scared to go there.
I can't remember if it was... I think it might have been Poland, but I was watching this like documentary about like the toughest prisons.
Oh my god, yeah, wasn't one of them called Marek? And then it was like a joke.
Oh yeah,
We
I
know
remember
someone
that.
with that name.
I remember
And then
that.
we were like, you said to him, have you ever seen Toughest Prisons? And he was like, oh yeah, one
He'd
of them
actually
was
seen
called
it, hadn't
Marek.
he?
Yeah, oh my
Oh
god,
my
that was
God.
funny.
But like, no, I mean, even they were like, because if you compare them prisons to like,
Yeah.
or like if you watch like Orange is the New Black or something, like the
Yeah.
prisons there, like, of course that's not what a real prison's like, but maybe is it? I don't know.
Oh my god, do you know prison... How do you feel about prison times in America?
What do you mean? How do I
Like-
feel about it?
Like, people here would get... I don't have an example, but people here would get imprisoned for, like, I don't know, burglary for X amount of years.
Yeah.
And in America, it would be, like, that times by 5. And it's
What?
like... Yeah, it's like... The stuff you can get in prison for so long in America is, like, what? Like, weird.
They have,
like,
they still
so
have
weird.
like death penalty here, don't they? In some places.
Oh my god, have you ever seen a death penalty documentary?
we learned a bit about it in RE, didn't we?
Yeah.
But the thing that scares me about that is, I get it to an extent. Like, I think for very severe things, that makes sense. But, like,
Yeah.
if you're wrong, you can't take that back.
I know, because I watched this documentary, which sounds bad, but it was, you know, it wasn't anything dodgy. It was, like, genuinely just given information. And it was, like, about this man. And he was obviously when, like, do you know you can get, people can watch you having your death penalty?
Yeah,
that's so, I think that should be
like,
stopped, because
it's
that's
like,
just humiliation.
But then,
That's just not
no, it's
really...
not even humiliation. It's like, what? I mean, I
Like,
get that you want to
it's
see justice be
sickly.
done, but, like,
Say
I
it.
would not make the conscious decision. I wouldn't be like, oh, you're going down to see the execution
Oh my God,
later,
it's so
and then we'll
fucked
go
up.
for a pint after.
Yeah,
You know what I
imagine
mean?
celebrating that. Fuck.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, I guess it'd be different if, like, say, like, someone had, like, murdered, like, your child. You'd probably be more inclined to watch this person suffer than, like, a
Yeah.
random person who just apparently...
Yeah, but like in this documentary, it was on about like this man had asthma, and they were injecting things that made his asthma like it, because
I think
they
torture's
say
wrong
death
to an
penalty
extent.
is meant to be not
Quick and-
painful, but it's meant to be like quick and just not
And
like
there's
torturous.
that electric chair too.
Oh,
That was in Prison
God.
Break.
That one.
I watched season 1 of Prison Break.
Well,
Good. But then, like, after they'd escaped, it was kind of like, what's the point? How have they got more seasons out of this? I don't understand.
oh my gosh, I don't understand. God, that's a case of Pretty Little Liars. I know this
Oh,
is going
don't
off
start me on the
subject,
end
but
of that.
they should have just stopped it before they had to make a new character in the final episode to conclude it. Like,
And it's not
they
even a good
got too
character.
far
Not even a
through
good
and
character.
Oh my God, who even was it?
Spencer's twin.
Yeah, but what was the name again?
Alex? Or was that someone else?
Alex. It was Alex. Oh my God, yeah.
With the
and
really
with
bad British accent.
Oh my gosh, I love Troyan. I do.
Oh,
but
yeah. I mean,
that was
I
tragic.
think it was... I know that there's identical twins, like, they exist. Like, people look the same as their twin. But, like, I think it was unrealistic.
You
Very
know it's a
unrealistic.
bad
It would have
storyline when
made
you
more
can't
sense if
remember
it was
the
a
end.
different actor, I think.
Yeah, God. That it was shocking the way it worked.
But they've got a spin-off now. I haven't watched.
Have they?
Wait, did you not know that?
Oh, actually, I think the one with like younger versions of them essentially.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
anything
called
about
like, and but then like Mona, Janelle Parrish, who plays
her
Mona,
and
she's
what's her name?
Alison, but I don't know
Yeah,
her name in real
I
life.
can't remember.
Fuck.
Oh wow, this is
I
stimulating.
remember all of them though, apart from her, like Lucy Hale, blah blah blah.
Sasha. Pia, I can't say her last name.
Sasha Peter.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
we all know the one.
Sasha.
Sasha. God, she. Wow, we love her. I've got a crush on her, to be honest. So.
That's
wow.
cute.
Yeah.
Bless.
Aww.
Woman Crush Wednesday.
Oh my God. Oh, so if you want to know what my crush is, the list extends.
The lady at the
from-
travel agent.
The lady at my. Oh my God, she was so nice. My English teacher.
The old one.
Huh?
The old one.
Yeah, of course. Wait, what?
Well, which English? You've had a few.
No, the young one.
Yes. No, the old. So you're old English. You don't have her
Oh,
anymore.
I thought you said the old one.
No.
As in Chan. I was like, no.
No, I meant as in like the one you don't currently have.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, her.
You looked really confused when I said
Tanya Bear. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
she is.
And now Sasha Peters.
Quite a diverse list.
Wow, that was just completely conflicting from us both.
Yeah, but like, yeah, they are. I mean,
The one that throws it off.
the lady at the travel agent.
Yeah. She just had a nice face.
Mm.
That sounds really weird. She was just really friendly. We didn't know what we were doing.
No,
It was
yeah, we
panic.
actually. I mean,
We are the
that'll be the
only
next.
ones.
We are the only ones here.
Basically, this man was like pissing about the book by us, and we just like,
We couldn't exactly wrap up.
what are we meant to say? Goodbye to a podcast he doesn't know about. We just,
Wouldn't it? Do you think they'd do something if they found out we were like, you know, making content in the,
Oh.
that's not for college? Like, if you're making a college
Yeah.
film, like that's different. But
Have you seen on TikTok our favourite?
oh, by the way,
When,
we you know, given our age, even though we are like, you know, people are like, oh, it's for 7-year-old kids.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's funny, isn't
no,
it?
no,
though?
no.
It's such a meme.
We fully support it. We
I
fully
love
support it.
I laughed in bed at it this morning, and it's like these people got kicked out of their college for doing the one. Oh my God. like a dance in our library for TikTok. I was like,
Yeah, I mean,
let the people be.
I feel like there would be repercussions for filming.
God, there potentially would be. You're
So,
so right.
I can't even.
It's not really we're not. What harm are we doing here, sitting here talking about North Korea? We're just two
Giving other
girls
people
naive
ideas.
to the world. Oh my god, no guys, I literally did a fucking quiz today on radicalisation, and I was like, this is some twisted
That
stuff.
she got wrong. You'd think that at this
I
age,
got 9 out of 10. It's not bad.
No. But the question you did get wrong.
Because the question was, how would you tell an extremist? And as a joke, the answer was...
No, but
if
this was the wrong
person-
answer.
It was a wrong answer, but it was like, if the person has a badge that says extremist, and obviously they're doing it to be funny, but I was like, it is right though, isn't it? Like, if you see
Yeah,
someone
but
with a badge that says
You're
extremist...
not going to do that if you are an extremist.
No, I
That's
know
like
you
saying
wouldn't.
You're not
That's
going
why
to
it's
walk
the wrong answer,
into the
but...
police station wearing a badge saying, I just murdered that person.
I thought if they're
And then
stupid
the police are
enough
going to be
put
like,
that
oh,
question
must
in
be
there-
them. Must
Well,
be.
yeah, you're so right, but it's the way they worded the question. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd know they're a terrorist if they've got a badge saying extreme. Oh, not terrorist.
Yeah, but some
extremist.
people, like, you just wouldn't. Oh my god, what actually?
Is that gonna lock us in? Right.
Oh wait, no, the stuff are gone. Oh my god.
No, are you
The
joking?
camera. Oh my.
Most unfortunately, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's very long. We've been going for. We're gonna have to wrap it up here, I'm afraid.
But
We
just,
have more
just know
plans.
that we have more to talk about.
Yeah.
Granted, you might not care.
You might not care, no.
I don't think anyone in the library today particularly.
Blue, there's no one.
That sounded so sinister.
Blue. Right,
We're,
okay, so.
we're goners.
Sorry for this messed up ending. In fact, should we just do the ending
we've
again?
done has been.
Okay, we won't do it again.
Oh no, we have
This is-
gone.
Let's do the ending again. Right, so we're
Please
gonna.
keep that in.
Yeah. Bloopers.
Oh
We're
my
gonna
God, yeah.
have to end it here because our library is now empty and we feel awkward
We are gonna get kicked
screaming about extremism. I don't want someone to like come around the corner because
I feel like I feel like we're not alone. Wait, it's the aliens.
Right, we're gonna go.
The traffic.
Right,
You can tell we got kicked out.
We did get kicked out. That's the end of our podcast.
It turns out we weren't alone. You know,
There
long
was
story
a
short,
boy in
there was a
there.
boy literally sat a bookshelf away from us, and we just didn't see.
That's so
I accidentally called him an
embarrassing.
alien.
I mean,
What more can I say? I'm mortified.
this is a mess, but we hope you like it
Then we
anyway.
went downstairs and it was full.
Yeah, what a shame. Right, bye. See you
Bye.
next week.